A good morrow to this fair assembly, my TJ scholars, and welcome to yet another week. I hope that everybody had a great long weekend. Today, guys, is Tuesday, June the 1st. I think before we get into the announcements, I do want to just take us back to yesterday and remember why we had a day off. It is Memorial Day, and this is a day in which we honor, we recognize those servicemen and women that had served our country and gave what President Lincoln called the last full measure of devotion, and that service members perished in service of our country. So we want to be thinking about them and their sacrifice and their families as we enjoyed the freedoms that there were bestowed on us. So welcome to another week, 2 more weeks of school, actually less than that. Today's announcements, guys, are going to be a little bit different in terms of what you see. We're still going to do another Where is Mr. Swanson? This one's maybe a little different, and in order to give you the full experience, I am actually going to do these while I am walking. And it may get a little bit dark, but that's part of the surprise. So, a couple things, guys. First of all, we do have about 1.5 weeks now. Remember, our last day of school is Thursday, June the 10th. So we know that whenever the last day of school comes around, it's easy for us to get excited. We are all ready for a much deserved summer. Let's make sure we're still taking care of business. We're still thinking about our obligations. So we're thinking about library books that we need to return. We're thinking about laptop chargers that we need to return and all those things. Okay, we'll get you guys information about what you need to be thinking about, what we need to take care of, but let's be thinking about that kind of on your own. Second thing, our PTA has an incredibly nice last week of school for you guys, and they are going to be leading some activities during your lunchtime from, I think, the Friday before the last week really through the last week. Okay, again, we'll get you more information about that, but the reason for that is obviously it's been a pretty tough year for everybody, and even though we can't do field day because we need to stay safe, there are some other things that we can do. So I want to give a shout out to our PTA for their incredible support. Okay, also we have yearbooks are in, so those of you that have ordered a yearbook, we are going to be making arrangements to get those out to you guys. If you did not order a yearbook and you have an interest in getting one, we do have a few extras that you can buy. Okay, so tell your families to take a look at last Friday's Tiger Times, or you guys can track down our friendly librarian, Mrs. Davis, and she can give you the information. So those are the things that we have coming up. Now, let's talk about where is Mr. Swanson and where was Mr. Swanson. And I got to tell you guys, last week's clues, they were kind of tough. You may remember that you saw a water fountain behind me. It was really, really pretty. And the clues that I gave you were all based on quotes. I pointed to one building and I said, you know, in this building, you can find for the first time written the phrases life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and for the first time written, we the people in order to form a more perfect union. And then I also told you that a couple blocks down the road behind some trees, there was a place where every 4 years we hear an American say the phrase, I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States. So you had to take those clues and those quotes, figure out, okay, where are those quotes from, and then use those to figure out where is Mr. Swanson. And we had a couple classes that did it. So last week, friends, I was at the water fountain at the National Sculpture Garden. So the National Sculpture Garden. Really pretty, lots of statues and sculptures around, and if you get a chance to check it out, you'll really like it. And then the quotes, things like we the people in order to form a more perfect union, and life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, those quotes are from the United States Constitution, and the Declaration of Independence, and you can see those original documents, the first time they were ever printed, ever, at a building right across from the National Sculpture Garden called the National Archives. And then the phrase, faithfully execute the presidency of the United States, that is a line from the presidential oath of office that every president on Inauguration Day, they have to recite that pledge and basically promise to do everything in that pledge. And that pledge, of course, is at the U.S. Capitol. So once you were able to figure out, okay, I know those quotes from the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, I can see those at the archives, and then faithfully execute the office of president, I can see that at the Capitol. You were able to figure out then, okay, Mr. Swanson's somewhere near those. Now let's find a water fountain, a big fountain there, and lo and behold, we had some classes that did it. Way to go, Mrs. Dubois' class, who did a ton of research, and they were able to figure out the quotes. So way to go, Mrs. Dubois' class. Miss Calabresi's class, they also figured out that the quotes were basically seen at the archives and then heard at the Capitol, and so they were able to figure it out. We also had correct answers from Mrs. Fay and Mrs. Danbury. Nicely done, my friends. Now, where is Mr. Swanson now? Now, today, guys, is a little different, okay? Because I am not at a place of history, and I'm not at a national park or anything like that. I'm going to give you another hint. I am not even in the state of Virginia. I'm not in the state of Virginia, okay? But the place that I am at right now is kind of famous, maybe, in some circles, because of the things that we see, like on the walls. And I'm in a tunnel, okay? There's the ceiling. But if you look around, guys, there's this great big huge long tunnel. You can see way down there, and you can see way down there. And on the sides of this tunnel are sort of like light shows, and it's pretty famous. Now, let me see if I can't give you a hint, okay? If I wanted to go see some teams whose names were the Tigers, or the Lions, or the Red Wings, or the Pistons, I would not have far to go. So again, if I wanted to go see some sports teams whose names were either the Lions, or the Tigers, or the Pistons, or the Red Wings, I would not have far to go from where I am right now. Also, I am at a place where I am just a couple steps away from having the opportunity to go to any city in the world. I'm a couple steps away from being able to go to Amsterdam, or Tokyo, or Seattle, or London, or New York, or almost any place in the world. So, where is Mr. Swanson? Take a look around, and I think maybe the biggest clue when you put all those things together, then you need to figure out, what is this? What is all that? So, use your research skills here, guys. This one, you're going to have to show me something on this one. All right, my friends, let's get it started, guys. Only have about 1 week and a half or so left of school. Let's make every single day good. We know we can do that by being safe, by being respectful, by being responsible, just like every single day, no matter where we are, whether it's the school, whether it's home, the bus, or even a place like this right here. Let's find a way to do some good today. Have a good one, Tigers.